What's up, guys? Welcome to the Tapao Podcast. Jada here. In this series, we bring Malaysians all around the world to you. We will have a glimpse of how life is at their side of the world.
I think punched or assaulted because he was wearing a mask and they are saying like, oh, he's bringing in.
Today with us on this episode, she has gone through a rough patch during her road to graduation. Some might call this the COVID graduate class of 2020. She will be here with us to share her journey. Let's welcome Jia Wei to the Tapao Podcast.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you for introducing me. I'm really glad to be here.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, how has your week been?
It was like exhausting because you get like a job offer decline and then suddenly you have some like your friends leaving for good, but you have to get over it, but then you live another day, just take it step by step, that kind of feeling. But generally
Yeah.
positive at the same time.
Yeah. How about the COVID situation at the place that you're living in?
COVID situation, yes, today they are
Mhm.
implementing like everybody has to wear mask in shops now. So England, Wales,
Finally?
finally, yes, it wasn't implemented before. And yesterday when I went to Cardiff, which is the capital of Wales, then
Mm-hmm.
um everybody wasn't wearing masks. The only people wearing masks I saw was actually Asian. So I was walking past like Chinese students and I'm like, oh my god, you're wearing masks. But then other people are not wearing masks. But so that's why I'm very thankful they implemented this rule, because on BBC I saw that only
Mhm.
30% people in the UK wore masks. Like
What?
that was like 2 days ago, the news 2 days ago, 30 something percent of people were wearing masks. Whereas compared to Singapore, it's 90% of the people wearing masks there.
You know, in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
it's at 110%.
Oh no. Where did the 10% come from?
Because some people wear two masks, so
Are you serious? Okay, that is probably why.
yeah. So as we are recording right now, Hong Kong is going through a third wave of infection, and
Wow.
unfortunately, we just reached a new a peak again. So yeah,
Oh dear. Is it a
yeah.
significant peak? Is it like a really high spike or is it like a smaller spike?
Because you need to know, like Hong Kong is not like a very big city,
Yeah.
so that would consider a very big one. So we previously lifted social restrictions, and then everything seemed to be under control until recently. So
Mm.
we can only tap our food back home right now.
Exact. Oh, again. Oh dear.
Self promotion.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like in Malaysia, it's
Yeah.
also kind of the same, where suddenly now people have to stay in hotels again and they have to start paying
Yes.
again. Yeah,
Yes.
so it's like the whole cycle begins again. It's the same thing which happened to me. It's happening to them again.
Yeah, I guess like Malaysia, they are afraid of the second wave of infection, and they can't
Yeah,
really afford another MCO. I heard.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole world is in recession right now, so it's like I think they're just saving as much bucks as they can along the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about your graduation ceremony? Any updates?
Yeah, there is updates actually. So on the 27th of July, there's the virtual graduation. However, they are telling us that this will not represent our real graduation. We will have a real one once, the pandemic has ended, which we don't know when, because my university has two batches of graduations. One is in July,
Mm-hmm.
one is in December. So we don't know whether, how UK is handling it. We don't know whether by December everything will be okay or not, and then the graduation will go on or not, or else it will be postponed probably until next year, July, where probably um
Three batches.
three batches have to graduate together, which is going to be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to that. But otherwise, for my own cohort, which is the School of Biological Sciences, they are planning like an internal celebration, probably on Zoom on like the 31st of July. So that's also something to look forward. Yeah,
Mine was not only being postponed, it's being cancelled completely. And that sucks. I wish that,
yeah, that's
just
very
postpone another year.
ridiculous.
I
I
wouldn't mind
know.
waiting.
Wow. Do you feel like you're hanging in your education where you feel like you finished but you didn't finish yet?
It's like you don't really have like a full stop, like a ceremony kind of thing.
Exactly.
So it sucks, but I guess I'm grateful that the both of us are safe and healthy right now.
Exactly true. Yeah, it feels like your course is like it ended with a dot 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 and you don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened.
You have actually chosen to stay back in the UK back then when many of the other Malaysians have left before completing their studies. Forget about the graduation ceremony. So, how did you come up with the decision? Isn't it scary to stay back when there was no one left?
Yes, it was very daunting because as a final year student, you have to make a very, like, I would say, a major choice compared to first year or second years. So, because first year,
Yeah,
second years, you go back, you can come back again with
chill,
your
chill.
visa. Yeah. And
Hmm.
some more, like, for the all the people who are graduating 1 year later, they don't even need to worry because their visa, they get to stay in the UK to find jobs for like at least 2 years, because they implemented this new
Mm.
rule. So for us, we are kind of the last batch where we stay and we only have 2 months to find a job and then we have to just zao already. So
Oh, that sucks.
yeah, so with this being a COVID graduate, I have to make like a decision whether should I go back home and chance whether the borders are still open and come back, or should I just, just remain and try to find a job, and then if really cannot find, then I go back, or if I find already, then I remain stuck here and I can't see my family for another year, which makes it up to
Yeah.
like 2 years not returning home to Malaysia. So it's all these choices. So what I
Mhm.
did was the last day of exams, which was like May 14, um, I just checked the Qatar Airways, the ticket prices only, and then I saw if I were to book the next week, the prices inflated like 3 times. You had to pay
Three times?
thousands. Yes, you had to pay like £2,000 just for a one-way ticket back to Malaysia, which is
Wow.
ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, that's like 12,000 ringgit like that, which is ridiculous. Then,
Wow.
so I only had the option whether to fly back on Saturday, which was actually like 3 times cheaper, or
Mhm.
not. So I kind of drafted like a 4-page mind map of okay, what would happen. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
so in the end, I kind of just asked my family also. I told them, okay, what would they suggest also. Then
Mhm.
they also said, okay, the same thing as me. They would rather have me back, and if
Yeah.
I could fly back, then it's great. If not, like if there is a graduation in December, I can always come back also. So I decided to chance it all because for me, I'll be a Malaysian wherever I go. So Malaysia is really my home, and
Mm.
yeah, nowhere can take it away from me, lah, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that it's particularly difficult for final year students because it
Yes.
feels like this might be the last time in a country that you have lived in for so many years, man. Like
Exactly.
this place has already been their home away from home, so it just kind of
Mm.
sucks. Yeah. You came back to Malaysia, right? Like what you mentioned. So
Yeah.
so where are you right now?
I'm currently in Wales. Yeah. Okay. It's so funny. So that means I guess I got the best of both worlds. So I got a taste of home, and then now I am back to Wales to find opportunities before my visa ends. So somebody posted their success story on. They sent this email to this like a deputy immigration person, and then they issued the permit within 24 hours. So I decided to chance that, and I got the permit within 24 hours. So I'm very grateful for that, yeah, because everybody else who knew about the news and started to apply already, they had to wait weeks because suddenly that person's inbox was just flooded with people, I guess. Probably.
I believe that there will be people who want to, venture into new things and stay back a little after graduation before, returning back to Malaysia.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So how long did you manage to spend time at home after going back? After the mandatory quarantine,
Uh,
of course.
yeah. So it was very ngam because my original
Mm-hmm.
plan, like without any COVID situation, was to come back home for 1 month and then come back
Okay.
to find a job. So it was exactly the situation. I came back like May 16 like that, and because I have to quarantine 14 days, I came out June 1st.
So
And so I had like a, yeah, very ngam,
yeah.
right? And then like I had the entire month for just to chill, hang around with friends, and then makan everything.
Oh, I miss
um
Malaysian food.
until I know. Come, you need to tapao,
Yes.
tapao.
Oh my god, I need my Penang laksa.
Yes, come visit me. Yes. Oh, wait a second. You are also in
Yeah.
Penang. Oh, we can visit each
Yeah.
other. Oh my goodness. All of us are food connoisseurs, I tell
Yes.
you. Like really, we just
Yes. Yeah, so you actually quarantined twice, right, in 3 months. Did you
oh
quarantine
my
again when
goodness.
you came back
Yes.
to the UK?
Yes, it was hilarious.
Two
Yeah.
weeks, is it?
So yeah, 2 weeks, but this is very, I would say, very lenient, very chinchay, like very laid back like that.
Mm,
So compared to Malaysia is like you're gonna lock up in the hotel, you can't get out of the hotel, and then the people will just like deliver foods for you. You have to put your food stuff in the hazard
yeah. Oh
bags,
my
and
god.
then they would, yeah, PA systems will always tell you, do not set foot outside because we have cases of COVID in this hotel. And then when you hear that, you're just like, oh my goodness,
Just like
that kind of
open
thing.
the door, take chow.
Exactly correct. But then when you see your neighbors, you're like, hi. I mean, it's so nice to see people, lah.
Yeah.
But whereas here,
Mm,
right, they don't monitor you after, like, once I finish my quarantine, I was like, oh, actually, why is it so easy? Because I expected them to
mon-
like phone me or SMS me or email me something, but it's like they don't even check.
what?
So it's like, okay, what? Like, okay, I'm just in my house, that's all.
A bracelet kind of tag in the UK.
No,
Oh,
zero.
what?
Nothing. You're just seriously nothing at
Hmm.
all. Really nothing. It's so easy. I
Like
went
so
through
nice
immigration
surprise.
like 5 minutes. I thought they would ask a lot of things, but nothing.
Oh wow. So did you get
Yeah.
like a swab test after you landed in the UK? No?
No, nothing. Seriously, it's just the most normal immigration ever, except because, pre-departure, you have to
Yeah.
fill in like your arrival
Mm.
form. It's like a special arrival form for you, COVID-19 one, and then they say like, okay, they know where you're staying for 14 days,
Oh,
and then they just tell you, okay, you have to stay there for 14 days without going out, blah blah blah. It's just like something they see in the immigration, but that's just the form you have
that's
to
about
fill.
it.
It's not like that's it, nothing else. Yeah.
But
So it's so lenient. I'm
yeah, but
surprised.
I'm very you're safe right now, which is the most important thing.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I'm very lucky, I would say, to fly home and fly
Mm-hmm.
back without getting COVID. I think that is also one of the big blessings, I would
Yeah.
say.
So you have actually quarantined twice in such a short amount of time.
I
Yeah.
know.
What's
Yeah.
the one thing that you discovered about yourself that, you didn't even know about it?
Um, there's a lot of self-reflections that I have. I think because usually I'm somebody who does a lot of
Mm-hmm.
self-reflections normally, but because of being with myself more, I am able to kind of know more about myself. So what I found by myself is like I am actually very like self-aware in the sense where it doesn't help me.
Like
So
how?
y- yeah, it's so weird, right? Because it is like if I just like
Mhm.
okay, recording this podcast, uh if I catch myself like talking about this podcast and thinking like, okay, why are you speaking so quickly, why are you speaking so like that, then if I think about myself, I will suddenly forget what I want to say, or I would suddenly be really anxious. So I realized that I was very self-aware when I do things, and
Because
it's just
like
such a very chim
it's
thing.
very chim thing. Oh, by the way, chim is like deep in in
Yeah,
Penang.
deep. Is it
Yeah,
Hokkien?
it's in Hokkien.
Is it
It's in
Hokkien?
Hokkien.
It's
Yeah,
Hokkien,
yeah,
right? Okay, yeah.
yeah. So it's basically like self awareness. It's very important, I guess, especially when like you are only with yourself and you don't have anyone like, for example, your support system to be there for you. Having self awareness really help you to stay grounded and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And like knowing, like you realize that you are your own friend,
Yeah.
and because until the day you die, you are with yourself. So if you can make peace with yourself, if you can like, treat yourself as your best friend, or just loving yourself as yourself, that is actually, you really go a long way in this life. And I think in during quarantine, I realized a lot of that. And I realized like I shouldn't really, hear what other people, like be scared of what other people think or anything, just as long as I continue being myself and continue holding on to my giving my all to the world
Mhm.
lah, then yeah, it will be so much better instead of just wallowing in like self-pity and everything. That's what I realized.
Yeah, I think for me, that's something that interestingly, I didn't know that you were working on this because this is one of like my top priorities
Uh-huh.
is to cultivate self-awareness after graduation, right? When you started to work and everything, sometimes it might be kind of messy outside and then you kind of lose yourself in the process. And
Oh
and
yeah.
having self-awareness and basically during this uh we don't quarantine ourselves right now, but more isolation from the outer world, it is a good time to cultivate all
Mm,
these like practices. It's
exactly.
a blessing in disguise, I would say.
And just be present and
Yeah,
aware of the things around you rather than being just zap into
it's
it.
quite hard, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. So I'm actually sitting by the window right now, and when I look outside the street in Hong Kong, right, everyone is
Yeah.
wearing a mask. So it's actually
Wow.
a common practice to wear masks in public, especially after the SARS outbreak in Hong Kong. Like for example, right, if
Ah.
you don't wear a mask and then you sneeze in like in the MTR. MTR is like the train in Hong
Yeah.
Kong, right? Everyone just
Goodness.
stare at you and you
Wow.
just feel so bad. So how about the UK?
Wow. Oh, the UK. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the funny thing is the complete opposite. If you wear a
Right.
mask, you are the person being
Stare.
stared at.
Oh dear.
Yes. So yeah, there's incidents. I'm glad I haven't bumped into those incidents yet, but there's incidents in London, I think, where a Singaporean was like, I think, punched or assaulted because he was wearing a mask, and they are saying like, oh, he's bringing in the disease, whereas he's just wearing a mask
Protecting
and he's not
himself.
sick. He's just
Yeah.
protecting only. Yeah, protecting himself and protecting other people at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it became so apparent the moment I came down from the train to Wales,
Mm.
actually, because when I came down from Wales I was holding two humongous
Luggages. Mm-hmm.
luggages, and I was wearing a mask, and then like it's like two teenage kids, Welsh teenage kids, they were walking up, but they were continuously staring at me, just staring at me and my mask, and like was like, okay, that's a warm welcome. But yeah, then afterwards I went straight into quarantine already. But now, I mean, especially even yesterday when I was in Cardiff, me and my friends were the three people wearing masks,
Really, until
and
now?
really every single person was not wearing a mask. I think only that's why they have to implement it. They have to implement it
Yeah,
today. That's why, yeah, or
the
else
mask.
nobody would
Mm-hmm.
wear it. But the good thing is, because they implemented it on public transport, which is buses and trains. So the people who go on buses and trains, like more than 50% of them are wearing masks.
Like what I told you in Hong Kong, it's 110 always, forever.
I know, that's amazing. That's crazy.
How about like food shortages or like any shortages?
I think generally that is previously.
Mm.
I think when the pandemic started, that was when every crazy thing happened. So toilet paper was out of stock. I don't know how that happened. Like the flour was out of stock.
Everyone's trying to
Eggs
bake.
were not there. Yeah, and then bread, like pasta and rice, all the long, like the shelf life food,
Yeah.
it's all gone. So yeah, it was like a apocalypse, basically. And then you have to. I remember I was buying groceries online, and I had a full trolley at first. And then every single day they'll give me updates. Oh, we ran out of stock for this one. Can we replace this one? Then, oh, we ran out of this one. Can we replace that one? In the end, I only had like, from 40 things on my basket,
Mm.
I only had like 5 things on my
What?
basket. And I was like, okay, this is not worth it anymore. I will just go to my local store and buy
Yeah.
things, because deliveries is just impossible. Everybody's just buying deliveries because they don't want to go outside and probably contract the virus or
Mm.
anything. So everybody's just doing deliveries. So that one is just impossible to get your hands on any groceries via deliveries or online
Yeah.
at all.
In Hong
Yeah,
Kong,
it's
I
crazy.
don't remember whether I told you before, but there was a news about someone trying to break into houses to steal toilet papers.
No, you didn't tell me before. That's crazy. Toilet
Yeah, I
papers?
know, like
Really?
I would steal rice or something.
I know, right?
Yeah, but
Crazy, lah.
thankfully we don't have any toilet paper shortage right now because we don't have bidet here.
Yeah.
You know what the bidet is?
I know. Oh my goodness. I tell you, I live for bidet.
Really?
Like, even if, yeah, even without toilet paper, if I use a bidet, I'm completely
Do they
fine.
have it
Like,
in the UK?
no, they don't have it in the UK. So, okay, this, like, I don't know, but every Malaysian who has been outside, we suddenly
Appreciate all these things,
live for
right?
bidets. Yeah, so crazy. That's why I think during my transit in Doha
Mhm.
airport in Qatar, when I saw a bidet, I'm like, oh, hallelujah. So it's so nice to see a bidet. So funny.
Yeah. Oh, my friend just flew back by Qatar to
Oh,
London. I
really?
think yesterday, right? They actually provide like face shield
Correct.
other than face mask. That's
Correct.
really nice. So basically now everything is okay. Like all food
Yeah.
source, everything.
Oh, not really, you
Still not.
know. I mean, it's so it no, because UK is, I would say, still very slow because um because of how much cases they have. So what they do now is still like, tapao stuff. So you can't sit in stalls,
Oh.
or some stalls is like social distancing, but it's like really big social distancing. Some stalls you can't even sit down. You just only can take away. So even like fast food chains, like there's a fast food chain called Slim Chickens. There's only 8 people who can enter the shop at
Eight.
a time, and that's only to wait for your food and tapao
You
balik.
know, in
That's
Hong
all.
Kong, you can't even like stay in in the restaurant to take your takeaway to wait for your takeaway food. You need to wait outside.
Mm,
So I'm like, okay,
yeah, but yeah.
yeah. So
Wow.
did you experience any breakdowns throughout this like very rather chaotic process?
Oh yeah. I think the major breakdown. Well, yeah, there's a few major breakdowns here, but I would say the ones I remember the most is
Mm-hmm.
the feeling of no the feeling of all your original plans suddenly just like wiped out, and then you have to make a very important decision on whether to stay or leave, or what happens to your life next. Do you immediately go into a job? Do you continue like traveling, or do like a gap year
Mm-hmm.
or whatever? Because the future is like very bleak, was like very bleak for me um, when my exams finished, because it felt like I wanted to have a breather before I started my job.
Yeah, that's
So
like
like,
the ideal
yeah,
plan. Mm-hmm.
exactly. Exactly. So it's like maybe like celebrating with my friends, having a proper graduation. Yeah. With my family, and then they can come up to the UK and also just go and cuti. Yeah, and then suddenly now everything just stopped and it all halted, and then you have to make the important decision. Okay, do you immediately go into a job, or what do you do? So the first bits of quarantine was very hard because every day I was like a robot applying jobs. Yeah, day by day by day by day. Oh my goodness, I feel so mechanical at the start, but I felt like if I didn't use this chance to apply jobs, then I would lose, like time would tick on and I would lose that
Yeah,
opportunity.
like the window will be
So I
closed.
just kept
Yeah.
on.
But
Yeah.
did you consult
So
anyone like, throughout like the hard times?
um yes, I did. I consulted the university international team to ask about like how long does the visa application take if like a company accepts
Mm-hmm.
me. So thankfully, apparently, when a company accepts you, then after that, when you start doing your visa, yeah, your tier two visa, and then once you just submit it, you can immediately work already. You don't even need to wait until like it's approved or whatever, because once a company sponsors you, it means like the company wants you already. So the application is just like just telling the government that okay, this company wants me to work, that's all. So you just have to send it off, and then you can work immediately. So let's say if my visa was ending 29th of
Mm-hmm.
September, if I got a job 28th of September and I faster fill in
Wow.
my tier
Amazing
2 visa,
race.
I can work already. Exactly, exactly. I think this whole pandemic situation is just an amazing race for all of us. It's
Yeah, yeah. But
oh
I'm
man.
very grateful that you actually know like where you can go to for support and additional information.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, especially the Facebook groups, I would
Yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah.
during this
Yeah,
time.
so like the
Yes.
ones that the both of us have mentioned before, they are called the Malaysia Quarantine Center Support Group and Malaysia Air Travel Support Group. So what happened is that the returnees will post their first person account and experiences. So everyone, including like the both of us, can receive the latest information. So it is really helpful for everyone that's going through the process. And this is one of the best example of kita jaga kita, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and even I think yeah, one of the groups also has like a government
Yeah, yeah,
official
yeah.
moderating the
Mhm.
group. Yes, so that is like a bonus. So if you have any queries, also they would definitely be happy to help.
Yeah, so basically right now I'm also like thinking like when can I actually schedule my flight back. So like with the changes in
Ah,
SOP and everything, so I do keep myself updated by, going through the posts in the group
exactly. It changes day by day, so it
one
feels
day
like
at a
you
time.
are watching a yeah, you're watching a football tournament and you have to like just follow the results every single day. Yeah, that's what I felt when I was doing my application, like in my permit to go back to the UK.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there there's actually an interesting story about one of the admin of the Facebook group. Do you want to share?
Yes. So this admin is actually very proactive. He's really friendly, and he basically is the like the heart and soul of this
Mm-hmm.
Facebook group. It's a relatively small Facebook group, but you get all the answers, and he makes like very good graphics to streamline the
Very clear
process of how do
classifications.
you go out. Very clear, yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And unfortunately, when he finally managed to come back to Malaysia from Korea, he got COVID-19 pull up. So it is just so unfortunate because he is such a good person, and then he developed symptoms, and
Yeah.
then he showed us okay how what happened.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that he documented the whole thing, like from being like diagnosed to like being admitted and being discharged and in the
Exactly.
hotel. So the last
Wow.
time I checked on after you told me about this is he's actually feeling much better right now for yeah, thankfully.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's starting to post
Yeah.
back things already. But you can see from the comments like how good a person he is because everybody's telling him to get well soon. Please take care of
Yeah,
yourself and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. Yeah, but talking about support groups, you run a project that's related to it as well, right? Can you share it with us?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I run a project called Feeling Light in Darkness. It's actually ever since I heard that the world is going in quarantine or going in lockdown, then I felt that I don't want these barriers to divide us. So this project is about like using videos to which are just everyday, your family, your friends, just sharing skills, what they can do. Just like my mom shared, like how do you cook nutritious instant noodles, and my friend shared how do you make like a ninja star, and he's like from Wales.
I
Yeah,
really enjoyed the pizza making video of your friend, the one that I can make
is
it without an
it?
oven or dough. I actually did it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That tasted
Really?
amazing.
Oh my
You
goodness.
should tell
I
him.
need to tell my
Yeah, you
friend.
should.
Yeah, I need to tell my friend. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's I just started it off as like I just wanted, people to smile and just
Mhm.
like be happy during this period where we can't see each other. And then suddenly people reach out to me and say that these videos actually not just put a smile on their face, they actually did the stuff within the
I
videos. Like
mean,
somebody made like a chocolate mug cake like you. And some people did like all the challenges. Like the first video I put up was how to make owl sounds using hands. And so a lot of people tried it, and some like 50% of them got it, 50% didn't.
oh,
And I
they
was
actually
like, you
updated
guys
you.
actually tried it.
Oh.
Yeah, they actually updated it, and so it was very like I felt really touched. And then in the end also BBC noticed the project, and then the Guardian also noticed the project, so
Oh.
it was just from yeah like humble
Yeah.
beginnings and just like wanting to wanting to make the people smile, that's all. And then I didn't expect all this would happen, but still the mission remains the same. It's
Yeah.
like this to it's just like a very comfy, cozy setting where it's family, it's friends, it's just everyday people in everyday life. Don't need to be a celebrity, and then it's just people sharing things to people.
Just like this podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was so happy when you roped me into this. I was like, wow, you are such, like, this is a amazing initiative as well. And I just can't, like, I'm very excited for you and this podcast future, honestly. It, like, binds Malaysians together.
I think that all
Yeah.
of the initiatives that we mentioned are really, really meaningful during this period, especially for the ones that are living abroad like us, you know?
I think it's really another kita jaga kita
Yeah,
thing. And it's like, you're just making all the connections, like holding everybody's hand,
yeah,
even though we're
far
so
away.
far
Yeah.
away.
And then you
Yeah.
can feel really disconnected and lonely sometimes. So it is
Hmm.
comforting to know that you are a part of something like a community that will be there to support each other.
Exactly.
So, last question. What's the one thing that you are really, really grateful for throughout this pandemic?
Wow. Okay. I think it's pretty obvious. It's just to be alive, man. Because
We
if
take
you
this for
hear all
granted,
these stories, especially, it's like sometimes I just it's very easy to feel like you're lonely, or you feel like you're bored or something. But then when I kind of like switch on the news, and then people seeing, like, there's Broadway actors
right?
and very very young celebrities dying from COVID. I think, like, moms, and also like moms and dads, like 30 something year old, 40 something year old, they're just dying from COVID. And it feels like, oh my goodness, I'm just glad I'm not sick. I'm just glad I can, breathe and see another day. And then I just wanna, because by knowing this and having aware on this, I just wanna, make every day as good as I can, even though, I might have bad days or something. Just take it one day at a time, and just breathe and live for another day, and look out for one another. I think that's the most important thing I learned about this pandemic. Just to the gratefulness to be alive
Yeah.
and
And
breathing.
to, really prioritize things that matter.
Exactly, because it's like, yeah, like, just cherish the present.
Thank you, Jia Wei, for joining us in this episode. Tell us how we can stay connected with you.
You can find me on Instagram at Kidai, so Kiddai, and then, or you can find me on Facebook, which is facebook.com/feeling light in darkness. That's where the project is. Or if you want to take part in this project, please feel free, because it's just going to be like, kita jaga kita again. So yeah, thank you, Jada, for this opportunity. Seriously,
Yeah.
like, it's so nice to connect with you.
Yeah, so
It's so,
it's
yeah.
interesting because I just got a new friend in Wales. So
Yeah, exactly. If I got the job of the graduate intern or something, if you want to come visit, honestly, just
all
come.
right.
We go and chill. We go and climb mountains.
Yeah. And or we can hang out when we come back to Penang.
Exactly.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Dabao podcast. I hope that you have enjoyed today's content. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and stream all of our episodes on Spotify, Apple iTunes, and YouTube. Are you interested in becoming a part of this podcast? Drop me a DM on Instagram at JAIDA_OW. Stay healthy, stay safe. I'm Jada Al from the Dapa Podcast, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.